Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR 2. How do you feel about a 4-day work week? I would probably hate Mondays less. I already have that, but on 5. I do 12 to 14 hours, 5 days a week. My stepdad does 12 hours 5 days and then 8 one day. Yeah, most electricians, plumbers, construction workers and trade people do insane hours because they get a crap ton of overtime. I used to work at a warehouse and I was getting like 65 hours a week, at least working like 5 days a week, and I made insane amounts of money. You don't want to be doing this kind of stuff if you're like 35 or older, because in general, the jobs that require this amount of clockage also require strenuous labor, standing, walking, physical labor and such, and I couldn't handle it after a little while. Money can be exchanged for goods and services, edit, and Reddit tokens. Life would be that much better. I would have somewhere around 50 extra days a year to do all the yard work and home projects that I don't want to spend all weekend doing. Our local community colleges' health programs, nursing, etc., just swap to 4-day weeks. I coordinate their rotations at the hospital where I work. I sit and have very quiet Fridays now and would give a whole lot to be able to be off those days. I work 4/10s for my dad's fabrication shop. The way he always put it was that you don't really notice working 2 extra hours in a day once. But you're already at work, but you sure notice a whole extra day off. I used to work 3 12-hour shifts per week and it was great. It's considered full-time and I get most of the week off every week. Provided there's no drop in salary. Freaking brilliant. My employer gives us every other Friday off. We work 80 hours over 9 days. MTH. It's really helpful to have those Fridays to schedule appointments. And I have less desire to burn PTO throughout the year just to take a much-needed Friday off. Through the end of October, I had only used 2.5 PTO hours for the year. Mostly for doctor's visits. The only real downside is that on the Fridays that we do work, nobody wants to do anything. We did the same thing, but we rotated. Some had Mondays and some had Fridays, and we alternated those as well. So any given day we would only be missing 25% of the office. And everyone had different days, so we weren't collectively not wanting to be there on one day. Lol. Rotating it is key. I think it'd need to be rotated across society to be useful. I used to do 12H3D weeks and a lot of the benefit was being off when other people were still working, so you could book appointments during office hours and so on. If you get Friday off and dentists take Friday off too, then you're back to where you were with the 5-day week. I've worked 4 to 5 -9s, 4 -10s, and 5 -8s. I was stoked to try out 3-day weekends for the first time. But honestly I like 2-day weekends the best. I still take vacation time for trips and family and time off. But switching from an 8-hour day to a 10-hour day is brutal. It feels like the work days never end. I'm sure that's different profession to profession. Let's be real. Your boss wastes time too. I am a boss. I have a boss. We all wasted time on Friday. At the beginning of 2019, our boss decided to move us to 32 work weeks and gave us raises. I mess around basically 100% less at work now. All of our productivity has gone up, we're happier. People can spend more time with their kids and families. I've been able to schedule weekly therapy and work on my emotional and mental health. My partner has been able to take a new job because I can hold down the house while he transitions. My boss got to take his kids camping multiple times this year. I understand that with corporations the rules are different, but if smaller employers move to a 32 work week with same or more pay, they would see an increase in productivity and general employee health. At that point corporations will have to catch up. I've lived this experience for a year and it has made me more committed to where I work and has become something I truly believe in. We don't need 40 hours. That is the worst thing about it all. Sunday is basically just waiting for Monday. Sunday barely even counts as a day off. You spend all day thinking, preparing for the day tomorrow. How does it improve welfare benefits? I mean personal well-being, not welfare as in social security. My main concern with a 4-day week is that the lowest paid members of our society will just end up working more jobs to just get by. At least you're honest, I guess. They talked about this in the 70s. Yay, everyone said. My dad did it. He worked 4 12-plus hour days and took off Friday. Everyone else was like, if I work the 12 hours the 4 days plus another 12, I can make even more money. Yay. I work 4 10s a week instead of the usual 8 5s and I freaking love it. 2 extra hours each shift is easily worth the 3-day weekend. Feel like I actually get a break from work each week. In terms of climate change, it'd be about 20% less CO2 emissions from commuters, which is nice. I did a rotation of 12s. 3 on 4 off. 4 on 3 off. It was nice, but during the winter it was hell. You walked into work in the dark. Worked in artificial lights all day, and when you left, it was dark. I work 8-hour days in the Midwest and already deal with that. Thanks for watching LWIAR 2. The best of all time r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out the original LWIAR channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe.